What up, everybody? My name is Maestro Stevens with Iconic Templates, and in this video we are going to do a deep side-by-side comparison with SureCart and WooCommerce. Actually, this is a second video that I've done of SureCart versus WooCommerce. So technically, this is SureCart versus Woo Part 2. Now let's jump in it. All right, so let's just start off with where you can find both of these tools. Right now, I am on WordPress.org and I'm in the plugin directory. All I did was go to WordPress.org, go to plugins, click that. I searched for SureCart and I ended up here. I searched for WooCommerce and I ended up here. So if you want to see more information about the features of both tools, you can see them right here. Now, if you want to dive a little deeper into some of the nuances of both tools, you can just go to their dedicated websites. For SureCart, they have SureCart.com, and for WooCommerce, you have WooCommerce.com. You can also see the features, and that is the page that I'm on right now. And these are a lot of the features that we're going to be talking about in the side-by-side comparison that we're going to be doing here today. So for SureCart, you can just go to this page, SureCart.com/features, and you'll be able to see all the features right here. And then you can also see them on the pricing page as well too. Then for WooCommerce, you go to WooCommerce.com/IT or it, or Iconic Templates. No, I'm just joking. /features. So it's WooCommerce.com/IT/features. And there you will end up here on this WooCommerce features page. And the reason why I'm saying this one is because the one that they have from the homepage, it doesn't really have that much. So I Googled and I found this one and I'm like, okay, this is what I was looking for. This has way more features and it has it like SureCart does, where it has it in these nice different sections based on certain topics or categories, right? And so I like that. So I'm going to keep scrolling so you can kind of see all the features are pretty much here. Most of the features are pretty much here, if not all of them. Now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to stop at a certain area that we're going to go back to here in a second. Now, if you want to find the plugins directly in the WordPress admin area and you are new to WordPress, you just go to plugins, add new, and then you will be able to search for the plugin as I have done here. SureCart here on the left side, and then WooCommerce here on the right side. For SureCart, you do have to type in the whole name because it's not going to show up if you just type in Sure. Just giving you a surefire tip on that. And with WooCommerce, you can just type in Woo. So you don't have to worry about typing in the commerce and it'll pop up right here. That's something that I just wanted you to be aware of because I know I ran into that and I'm sure other people may have run into that too. They just wanted to abbreviate it because, you know, these days we live in the abbreviation error. Everything's got to be short or be abbreviated. So just keep that in mind when it comes to just looking at both of these tools and how you search for them and how you add them to your WordPress website. Now, as you can see, I've already activated both of these tools on each of these WordPress websites. And I did that because I wanted to get past some of the onboarding experience and be able to create a product so that way I can show you all customer information and order information and product information that I have done by ordering a product, by buying a product, by creating a customer and buying a product. Now I can show you what that looks like a little bit better versus if I hadn't done that, it was just going to be empty and I just didn't think that was going to help. Now, let's go back over here to the features page. And the reason why I paused here on both of these sections, because I just want to make a quick point. I know this may be something that some of you all will have a different opinion on, maybe have an opposite opinion of what I have. However, this is something that I wanted to share with you because this is my thought process. So when it comes to the unique value proposition of each tool, it's different. They are both different on the unique value proposition, although the main parts of SureCart, the main parts of WooCommerce are very similar. And the overall purpose of both tools is the same. And what that means is they're both made for e-commerce. If you're not doing e-commerce, you really don't need these tools. for the most part. I would say 99% of people probably don't need these tools if they're not doing e-commerce. So that's the key, is if you're doing e-commerce and you want to do it in a very robust way, both of these tools give you the ability to do that. So let's just clear the air right there, is that these are e-commerce tools. Now, all e-commerce tools aren't made the same, and SureCart and WooCommerce are definitely in that scenario where they are not made the same. So for SureCart, this is a headless plugin or a headless tool. That's a better way to say it. And WooCommerce is a self-hosted plugin. I've made another video that goes a little deeper on the differences between the two when it comes to self-hosted versus headless. So you can watch that video and I will put it in the description below. However, for the most part, I just wanted you to know that SureCart is headless, WooCommerce is self-hosted, SureCart has a plugin and software as a service platform where you log in like you would log into any other platform with your login, and you'll be able to see your information that has nothing to do with you being inside of WordPress. But that information is connected to everything you do inside of WordPress via your SureCart plugin. WooCommerce is not like that. WooCommerce is a plugin, and all the information and everything that you're doing is happening on your WordPress website. If you delete your WordPress website without any backups, you delete your WooCommerce data. If you delete your WordPress website without any backups with SureCart, you can still have your data on the actual server, the SureCart server. There's pros and cons to both, but I just want to let you all know that. Now, when it comes to another unique value proposition that I really did notice, especially in this section here, and just in my own use cases for both, because I use them both for different reasons. So for SureCart, we see that it says the ultimate developer-friendly toolbox. And for WooCommerce, it says made for developers. That is key for you to be able to see, because I think that verbiage is highly attributed to their direction and some of their value proposition. What do I mean by that? With SureCart, they are saying that they are developer friendly. And one of the biggest parts about SureCart when it first came out was this is going to be very user friendly. We are focused on user friendly activities that give you the ability to get right into SureCart and start selling things without having to have a whole bunch of other plugins added to it. Whereas when it comes to WooCommerce, it's saying made for developers. In my opinion, I think that WooCommerce is more of a one for all type of plugin, and SureCart is a all for one type of plugin.
One for all for one.
And what I mean by that is all for one being we have one e-commerce plugin. If you had one e-commerce plugin for WordPress, we wanted to create a plugin that a whole bunch of other developers, many other developers can easily integrate into. So they don't have to make another e-commerce plugin, but they can create extensions, add-ons, other compatible integrations with their tools. So a one for all type of tool. And when developers think about integrating e-commerce into their platform, with their tool, with their startup in any way, when they're not directly competing with a WooCommerce, they're most likely going to integrate with WooCommerce. So you have to think about that. The first thing that most companies with WordPress that are dealing with products, selling things, they're going to integrate with WooCommerce more than anything. 9 times out of 10 at the time of this video, maybe 8 times, but they're going to integrate with WooCommerce. Whereas SureCart is newer and it is not as popular when it comes to development use cases and integrations. However, SureCart is saying right here, they still have that capability. So that's something that I really want you to notice and know. If you're thinking about why you need to use the two or which one you need to use based on your use case and scenarios, we're going to go over many different reasons. But starting here, where are you when it comes to how much do you need from a development standpoint? Where are you when it comes to how you're thinking of, I want something that's more consolidated or I want something that is more integrated? Not saying that SureCart doesn't integrate or have integrations, but WooCommerce has many, many more because developers think about this when they're thinking about their e-commerce aspirations. Now let's talk a little bit about the onboarding experience. As I mentioned before, I've already went through the initial onboarding experience, so that way I can set a couple things up. But when I'm saying the onboarding experience from this point on, I'm talking about once you're inside of WordPress, once you're inside of the WordPress admin area to be specific, and once you click on both of the logos or the names of the tools, you're gonna end up here. And this, in my opinion, is also a part of that onboarding experience. Okay, well, once I'm in here, well, what do I do next? This is typical of certain plugins. You'll see banners, you'll see some type of directions, something to check off, something that shows you and shares with you what you should do next. So when it comes to SureCart, we have connect payments, we have create products, and we have complete setup. Then when it comes to WooCommerce, we have customize your store, add your products, get paid, collect sales tax, select your shipping options, and grow your business. So you can see WooCommerce has more of a checklist of things, and SureCart has this kind of a 1, 2, 3 step process, even though you would think that some other things could be here, but it makes it very, very simple. Again, going with the whole simplified thought process. There's nothing wrong with either way. It's just what you prefer. So it's just something that I wanted you to see when it comes to the onboarding process. This is how they onboard you after you initially go through that first part of the onboarding process, where with SureCart, you're just connecting the plugin to your website. And with WooCommerce, they just have you pretty much pick your country, if I'm not mistaken. Now you can go through more of the process, but I typically skip it. So maybe it's because I'm just so used to WooCommerce, I skip that part all the time, but they have more of the process right there. Now let's talk about the menu. How does the menu differ from each other? Well, when it comes to SureCart, we can see that here, all of the menu is nicely nested right underneath the main menu, right underneath SureCart. It's all right here. There's nothing else in WordPress that I can see or that I know of that is, if I click it, I'm going to see SureCart-based features or functionality or menu items. Nothing else. With WooCommerce, it's different. WooCommerce has its main menu right here, but then it also has products, analytics, and marketing. So that's also something for you to notate. When it comes to SureCart versus WooCommerce, SureCart is more nested, more consolidated. WooCommerce is multi-layered when it comes to its different menu items. It has multiple menus. So I'm just calling it multi-layered for now because I can't think of nothing else. Next, let's talk about the product menu. So when I say product menus, I'm talking about if I click the product here and I click the products here, this is what I mean when I say products menu. So everything that you see right here, and then everything that you see right here. So these products menu are a little different. When it comes to the products menu, you can see collections, order bumps, upsells. For WooCommerce, you see categories, tags, attributes, and reviews. So that's a little different between the two. Now, something that I definitely want to make sure that I clarify, because I'm a stickler when it comes to this, not Stifler from American Pie.
Stifler? How'd you find me? We asked your mom.
Oh, no, I didn't do anything.
If you received any value out of this video so far, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right, now let's get back to it. When it comes to naming and categorizing and the naming convention of certain things, it can get very confusing on how companies will name things that you think would be a global or a universal name, but they're using a branded term and it still means the same thing as somewhere else. That right there is something you just have to get used to. I know that everybody does it, so there's nothing wrong with it, right? We're all looking for ways to make something more unique. But I always want to clarify that with our platform, with other platforms, and in general, that we want to make sure that we at least explain a little bit on, okay, if we're going to call it a branded name, what does it mean when it comes to like the normal use case when people are using a similar or the same feature or function? And for SureCart, for example, we have collections here, which pretty much is the same thing as categories is to products underneath WooCommerce. So categories is pretty much the same thing as collections. And I just wanted to pre-frame that because we're going to see that as a theme in other areas, not just here when it comes to SureCart or WooCommerce, but in other videos that I create, in other plugins, and other tools, you're gonna see that theme. So it's just something for you to be aware of. Now, when it comes to SureCart, we have order bumps and upsells. And then for WooCommerce, we have tags, attributes, and reviews. So you don't see those here. But another thing that I want you to know is you will see certain things in other areas. So that's something that's key too. And that's why I really wanted to do this video, was because I didn't really go too deep with this on the first video. But with this video, I wanted to make sure that I shared with you, okay, this is where you find this at, and this is where you find that at, and they're the same thing, but one is hidden here and one is over here. So now let's go into the product itself. I'm gonna click on the product here and click on the product here. If you already didn't notice, there is a color difference between the left side and the right side here. So my left WordPress installation that has SureCart, I colored it green, and then my right installation that has WooCommerce, I colored it purple, just so you can visually see easily the difference between the two. Even in the name of my user, I wanted to make something a little unique here. So that way there's just no confusion, because I know when you're seeing WordPress by WordPress, like South by Southwest, WordPress by WordPress West, I don't know how to say that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. But when you see WordPress, you can see, okay, this is SureCart, this is WooCommerce. For SureCart, we can see here we have name and description. And for WooCommerce, we have name and then price and then description here. Now, some of you are probably wondering, because some of you are a little old school, using the old school way of WooCommerce, because we know we got some people in here that just don't like change, just don't want to change for nothing. It ain't happening. But in this case, I wanted to show you where WooCommerce is going, or WooCommerce is headed. And that's because they're in the beta version for their new product page UI. And I thought, it makes more sense to compare this with SureCart right here, because SureCart is way more polished and SureCart is newer when it comes to the UI of building a product. WooCommerce, the previous version, or the current version, I guess, if you want to say, because this is beta, but by the time you watch this video, it may be live, and then the other version will be called Legacy. Because as you can see here, it says turn off the new product form right here. So beta, new product form beta. But when it comes to this, I thought it made so much more sense because of the fact that when I did the first video, I compared SureCart to WooCommerce, knowing that SureCart had features that were coming, but it didn't have those features already. And I still did the video and I just compared them for what they were at that moment in time. So I knew that it was a little less fair when it came to SureCart, because SureCart was so new. It needed some time to catch up. Then we'll see where it was going to be at, where it was going to go. Well, now we're here. It's matured a lot more. And now WooCommerce is making some changes itself. So, and I think it's adjusting. So that's what I like about the two. Competition is good because it makes both parties step their game up. But this is the new UI for WooCommerce product page. For those of you all who are probably wondering what the heck this is, you ain't never seen this before. That's what this is. And I thought it was fair to compare the two. We'll just go over the two pages themselves. So let's start with SureCart. When it comes to SureCart, we can see we have name, description, images, your pricing area here. So you would add your pricing here. And what's different about this and WooCommerce is you can have these different payment types, which is nice, and pay what you want. And these expire, access, and exclude from upgrade options. And then we have inventory. We have variants, integrations, downloads, licensing, search engine listing. I'm going to skip publishing because that should just be obvious. Shipping, tax, collections, advanced, which is limiting per customer purchase, and then custom affiliate commission. Now with WooCommerce, we can see we have name, we have the price area, and I'm going to start comparing the two now that we went over the SureCart so we can see them side by side. Regular price and sales price right here. Summary, this used to be called short description. Now I guess they call it summary. We have the normal description, and then we have images. So you can see here, we have name for name, price for price right here, description right here for description, and then image for image. And then when it comes to downloads, we have downloads here where you would add a downloads, a secure storage or external link. I really like that. And then we have include downloads right here, and you can include download right there. And then for variations, we have variations here, just like we have variants here. So variation options and variants. Different terminology, same thing. For organization, we have our categories and our tags, right? And our attributes. Whereas with SureCart, we have our collections, right? So we don't have tags, we have collections. That's what's different. We also have show custom fields here when it comes to WooCommerce, and we don't have that with SureCart. So keep that in mind as well too. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, but attributes are not with SureCart just yet. I believe that is on the roadmap, and I could be wrong with that as well too. But I know that SureCart doesn't have attributes yet. And that's one thing that I just want to let you know. When I'm recording these videos, I went over this stuff multiple times. I use this stuff, but at the same time, I'm always finding new things, even like live videos or when recorded videos, I'm finding things, and I'd rather just leave it in here to show you that I'm always in the exploration phase.
Dora.
Hola, mis amigos. Swiper, no swiping.
Oh, man.
You can never not be in the exploration phase, no matter if you're teaching or you're learning, just be in the exploration phase. So for inventory, we have inventory here, and then we have inventory for SureCart right here. So we see we have tracking quantity, and then allow out of stock selling. So this is how you would have your stock, and we have available stock here. And then we have your SKU. Here we have SKU, we have track inventory, available stock here. So if you click this button, notice how it turns off this. So stock status, in stock, out of stock, on back order. And you don't see that here. So these are things that I just want to let you know the difference between the two. This here is out of stock selling. So continue selling when out of stock. This does not say out of stock selling. So it's not necessarily indicating that you can continue selling this when it's out of stock. For shipping, they both have shipping. So I believe shipping is right here. So we have shipping, we have physical. So if we go to physical product here, we have our shipping weight. And then when it comes to shipping here, this product requires shipping or pickup. You would click this, and then you can choose your shipping class and your dimensions. Now shipping is done a little differently between the two. I'm not gonna get into that with this video, but I just wanna let you know that they both have shipping. When I made the first video for SureCart versus Woo, SureCart did not have shipping, but it was already mentioned in the roadmap that shipping was coming. They made good on their promises. So we can see their shipping here. That's not a negative against SureCart anymore. Whereas when I made the video the first time, that was a ding because some people really wanted that shipping feature when it came to SureCart because they wanted everything else SureCart had, but it didn't have shipping. So they were forced to go back to WooCommerce. And then we have linked products. And that is where, when I said before, you will find certain things inside other things, but you will see the name the same. However, it doesn't mean the feature works the same. So when it comes to SureCart, we can see upsells are right here. And then we see upsells right here. So they do that a little differently, or maybe I can say a lot differently. Yeah, maybe I'll say a lot differently more than a little differently. But we can see upsells, you would add a new upsell funnel, and then upsells, this is for a product. So that's how you know they both have upsell functionality, but they do upsells really differently. And then some other cool parts that are different between the two is when it comes to SureCart, here you can archive, you can delete, and you have an instant checkout feature. Right now, this is published. You can put it in test mode, show store logo, all this other information, and then you can view the instant checkout page. Now, don't confuse this instant checkout page with the product page. We're gonna get into that here in a second. But I just wanted you to know that with SureCart out the box, natively, right, default, you don't have to add anything else to it, it has an instant checkout page to where you don't have to build it from scratch or anything like that. Once you make a product, if you want to sell that product right then and right now, you create an instant checkout page and a person will have a better experience versus if they were to go into WooCommerce and have to go through the multiple layers before they're able to actually get their product or their service or whatever it is. You got to go through multiple clicks to check out. It's not the same experience. So something that I really wanted you all to understand. But when it comes to saving the product, you save it here. And for WooCommerce, you would click this update. If it wasn't published, you would publish it. Pretty simple, right? Self-explanatory. And then you can move to bin. You can delete it, or you can copy the new draft. Right now, I don't see that here directly on this product area. But if I go back a step, let's see. I don't think that they have that either. So let me open this up wider. Yep, nope, not as far as I know, as far as copy. All right, so that's key. So for collections, let's click on collections here. Let's click on categories. So for collections and categories, as I mentioned, they're both pretty much the same thing. You would add your collection name here. You would add your category name here. And then we see the permalink, and then we can even add a description, and we can add a description. And this would be the slug for the permalink. So it's the same thing. It's a both categorization, except one is calling it product categories, one is calling it collections. It's pretty much the same thing. Now let's go to coupons. So for coupons, you can see that was a pretty easy click. I just clicked there. But for WooCommerce, you got to hover over here, and then you got to click on coupons. Now, I'm not saying that that's hard, but if you don't know WooCommerce, you would never know that coupons are under marketing. You wouldn't think how many times. Now, I know it's somebody out there. Come on now. It's somebody out there that forgot where the coupons is, and we're at least using WooCommerce for six months or more, and you still forgot what the coupons were. I'm telling you, that part right there is like, yo. But when it comes to coupons, they are pretty similar in most of the functionality. For coupons, I'm going to click this coupon and make a new coupon. Here, I'm going to click here to make a new coupon. Well, actually, I'll click here to make a new coupon, but I could have clicked there too. For coupons, one thing I did notice is the first two fields are inverse. For here, we have coupon name. This is the internal name. So this is for you as the user, not for your customers. And then on the other side, when it comes to WooCommerce, we have the coupon code. And then underneath that, you would put the description or the name of your coupon. And then here in SureCart, you would add the coupon code. So if you leave it blank, they'll generate one for you. Here, you have to add a code yourself or generate a code. So that's the difference between the two. I can see where if a person was going from one to the other, they may trip up on that real quick, but I just want to let you know that that is a difference, that these two are in reverse or inverse or something, however you say it. Then we have limit to specific customer, link to affiliate. That's a little different than what WooCommerce has as far as linking to affiliate. SureCart also has product restrictions, the amount, right, and the percentage off. So is it a fix? Is it a percentage? The duration, forever, once repeating. And then you have usage limit. You have usage limit per coupon and usage limit per customer. And then you have your minimum order subtotal and maximum order subtotal and an end date as well too. You know, when people can redeem the coupon. When is the last date or time a person can redeem the coupon? Now let's move over to WooCommerce and compare the two. So for WooCommerce, we have our discount type, which would be closer to right here. Is it a fixed? Is it a percentage? Is it a fixed product, a percentage discount, or a fixed basket discount? We'll get into that basket part here soon. Then we have the coupon amount. Right? So what is the amount of the coupon? Right here, right here. It says fixed. So if this was fixed, it would be saying the amount. If I went to percentage, then back to percentage, you can see we both have percentage. What is the percentage of? And then we have allow free shipping. And then we have the coupon expiry date. The expiry date for SureCart is right here. WooCommerce is right here. Allow free shipping. You don't see that here with SureCart. So do keep that in mind. If you want to have that ticked, then that's something that you're going to want WooCommerce for. For minimum and maximum spend, we can see that both of those are right here. So we have our minimum order subtotal, maximum order subtotal, minimum spend, maximum spend. Same thing. Individual use only. This is people cannot use two coupons together. You ever knew a two coupon user? I want to use a coupon for a coupon. Like, huh? How you going to use a coupon? I want to get 20% off my 20%.
Total's $138.55.
Is it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Good for you, lady. You saved $122.10.
It is good for me.
And then we have exclude sale items here. And then we have products. So search for products, exclude products, product categories, exclude categories, and allowed emails. Now, when it comes to SureCart, we have add product restrictions right here. So we have the way that we're able to add restrictions is a little different. But I did notice that when it comes to WooCommerce, allowed emails. I like this list of allowed emails to check against when order is placed. So you can choose restrictions from an emails perspective, whereas here you can do it from a product perspective and a customer. You can directly link this coupon to a customer. So that's pretty cool. Now for usage limits, we have usage limit per customer, and that's going to be right here, usage limit per coupon. And then we have usage limit per customer, and then usage limit per customer. So we have usage limit per coupon, usage limit per coupon, usage limit per customer, usage limit per customer. Then we have limit usage to items. That is what the product restrictions is about. So limit to items is to what SureCart is for product restrictions. That's pretty much the differences and similarities between SureCart and WooCommerce when it comes to coupons, how they do coupons. But as I mentioned, there are way more similarities than there are differences. So this shouldn't be a maker or breaker, or why you use any one of these tools is because of the way that they do coupons. I think that there's other key areas that you may want to make that decision based on, and not necessarily how they do coupons, at least not right now. But hey, if there's a certain feature in either one that you like more than the other, then I would say that may sway your decision. You know what I mean? Now let's touch on the e-commerce pages. So for the e-commerce pages, I'm going to go here, pages. And the first thing we're going to look at is the shop page. So for the shop page, I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to click edit, just so we can see what they both look like in the experience. So as you can see in the shop page, other than this big logo here that's supposed to come from the featured product, because right now it's taking from the only product that I've made, and that's why this featured image here is so huge. But for the most part, when it comes to the shop page, they are very similar. If I clicked on this list view here, on both sides, we can see that on this list view, SureCart already has a group, whereas WooCommerce, it's just empty. It doesn't matter either way. You have the ability to add what you want to add. So you can be like TI and you can have whatever you like if you want to when it comes to this section right here, because as you can see, I can do what I want to do here in the WordPress editor, aka Gutenberg, and I can customize my shop page. That's something that I want you to know when it comes to the experiences between the two, is they are very similar. First things first is you are using the WordPress editor. You're not using some third-party plugin or page builder to edit your shop page. Nope, you are using the WordPress editor directly right here. That's something key to look at when it comes to the shop page. Next, we have the checkout page. So let's look at the checkout. So for the checkout pages, very similar to the shop page, where you have the ability to look at the list view here, and you can open up the first block. Open up that block. And as you can see here, I'm just going deeper and deeper, opening up more blocks to see how is this page structured. Now, the reason why it looks so weird right now is because I have this open here and this open here, and I'm splitting both sides. So if I were to open this up here, you would see it will look a lot better. You can see everything here. Close this down, and I'm gonna open this up here, and you can see everything here. And I can continue to add more as I please. So when it comes to the checkout experience for both, you have the ability to do a lot more customization when it comes to the checkout experience. And I can tell you right now, WooCommerce wasn't always like this. So this is a blessing for those who are using or want to use WooCommerce, that you have the ability to customize your checkout experience right here inside of the WordPress editor. I really like that. That is actually pretty cool. So that's the checkout pages for SureCart and WooCommerce. Next, let's go to the customer dashboard, is what they call it in SureCart. And for WooCommerce, it is called My Account, and it's the same thing. So as you can see, there's a big difference here, just straight off the bat. One, we see information. Another, we see a little code snippet, aka shortcode. That is a huge difference between the two on how you edit your dashboard, how you create your customer experience. You do not create your customer experience from here in the WordPress editor when you click the My Account page in WooCommerce, but you are able to do that when it comes to SureCart, as you can see here. And so that right there is going to change how you use the two when it comes to creating your customer experiences. And that's the reason why if I go back here and I say made for developers versus developer friendly, this is contributing to that notion, to my theory. I'm not saying this is the reason why, but this is a part of a key point that gives it a little bit more indication that WooCommerce still has a little bit more to go, a little bit more room to go when it comes to making things a little bit easier out the box for people and not having to see short codes. Because don't nobody want to see short codes no more. We ain't got time for that. We ain't nobody got time for that. Everybody got time for that. Let's go back. Now that we covered all of the main pages between the two, the pages that they both have, let's talk about what they're different in. So for WooCommerce, we have a basket, and then we also have a refund and returns policy page. So we see a basket here, and then I see some items here in my basket. And then I see a refund and return policy. Now, this should not be a reason that sways your decision on what to use as far as your e-commerce solution. Having a refund and return policy page made for you. That shouldn't sway your decision. And neither should having a basket. However, that is a major difference on how you want to have your customer journeys and you want to have your customer experiences on your website. When I say the word basket, I'm talking about the point that a person goes to before they check out. But certain platforms call it different things. Sometimes they call it a cart. Like sometimes they say, hey, check your cart. SureCart's cart is a pop-out. WooCommerce has a pop-out, but their area of where all your products are gonna be at before you check out, which some would call a cart, but they're naming it basket. In my theory, I think that they changed their verbiage to adjust to SureCart. Who knows? But that is my theory because I don't remember seeing this years ago, the word basket when it came to WooCommerce. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm overlooking it. Maybe I just forgot. Maybe it's been a while, but I don't remember seeing that terminology, basket. Either way, as you can see here, we have a basket and we don't have that when it comes to SureCart. I'll show you where the cart here is in a second. I just wanted you to see that first. All right, so let's go back and let's now look at the cart. So for the SureCart cart, say that 5 times fast, you can go to the cart right here by clicking the button cart. And then you can edit from here. Here's the cart, right? And if I click on here, it's gonna open up in the WordPress editor. That's the key. Now let me go all the way back and show you how you can get to there from both plugins the same way. So for SureCart, I'm gonna hover over appearance and click on editor. I'm gonna do the same thing with WooCommerce. I'm gonna hover over appearance and click on editor. The reason why you see what you see now, I'm using a full site editing theme, FSE, or a block-based theme. If you are in this area here and you're confused, I'll make another video that clarifies more of what this means and how to navigate through it if you haven't already seen a video. For now, where we wanna go is we wanna go to patterns, manage all template parts, and then you will see mini cart for WooCommerce, cart for SureCart. And now we can see carts on both tools. One is cart, one is mini cart. You don't have to use the mini cart and you don't have to use the cart. You don't have to use either of these. That's something for you to keep aware of when you are building out your e-commerce pages and your e-commerce websites and you're using either or. You don't have to use the cart area at all. That's something that I just definitely want you to see. You want to go back, you can just keep clicking this W area here and click this W area here. And now we're back in the WordPress admin area. Now let's talk about orders.